I said it before and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
That clip always reminds me of something. It reminds me that people aren't as happy, fulfilled, or grateful as they could be because they haven't woken up to realize that the time is always now. They haven't been slapped in the face with the fact that there is no tomorrow. And it's not our fault, right? Because we don't get taught the true nature of our psychology. We spend all of our time trapped in our minds as our lives pass by right in front of us and we don't even notice it. Today, I'm going to show you what helped me find more of that deep fulfillment we're all looking for through revealing a different way of using your mind and living your life so you can stay in the here and the now. So I'm going to propose that the best way to think about your mind is as an hourglass. And when you're born, the hourglass flips and all you have is your future potential up here at the top. Now, as time passes and you do things and you have experiences, your future potential passes through the hourglass and collects as your past at the bottom down here. But this tiny little section here in the middle, this is right now. This is where your future becomes your past. Now, the focus of your mind can get caught up at any point on this hourglass. In your future, there's anxiety and fear and dread, as well as hope and excitement, right? And in your past, there is depression and trauma and guilt, as well as pride and nostalgia. But in your life, you never actually leave this point right here. And it's the constant moving from past to future that makes us mentally unwell, or at least stops us from truly appreciating the quality of our lives. And I think that waking up to realize that the time is always now is waking up to realize that we want to spend the majority of our lives living right here. And most likely, if you're watching this video, you are in the golden years of your life, right? You have health and vitality. You have opportunities. You have doors to open. You have stuff to do. You have people to get on with. And as Jimmy Carr put it so well,
I think you would give me everything you own in 25 years' time to be the age you are now and as healthy as you are right now.
So we've established where in our minds we want to be, in the here and the now, in the state of balance. And now we're going to look at how we can try and maintain that state of mind. But to do that and figure that out, I think we need to answer a slightly different question. Do you know how the body maintains balance? Do you know how the body maintains the same core body temperature? Do you know how we keep the same rough concentration of nutrients in our blood? Well, the body has many control and feedback mechanisms that keep us in a physiological state called homeostasis, where everything is in balance. Now, the reason I asked that question is because I don't think homeostasis is purely a physical thing. In fact, on my podcast the other day, I spoke to a girl called Sanjana who introduced the idea of mental homeostasis, which I think is very similar to the place of balance in the here and the now that I pointed out in my diagram earlier. All we need to maintain that mental homeostasis and find that deep fulfillment and deep presence that we get in this moment is work out what the feedback and control mechanisms are that maintain a peaceful state of mind. And I think I've started to figure it out. I genuinely do. And to explain that, I need to tell you a personal story. Back in 2020, when most of the world went into lockdown, like most people, my mental health was not ideal. And that's because I lost a big source of joy in my life in the form of basketball, and I lost the main source of social time in the form of school. But the main reason that I felt pretty unfulfilled is that I had lost control, right? A virus and the government had practically changed everything about my life in just a few weeks. And going back to the hourglass that we talked about earlier, I was constantly stuck in the past, thinking about the way my life used to be before the lockdown. And also my mind would swing to the future, hoping and desiring that things would just go back to the good way that they were before. And genuinely the thing that got me through those mental struggles was developing a skill that allows us to take back control of our minds and return to a state of balance in the here and now. And it's a skill that I see in a lot of the people I admire and want to be like. And that skill is discipline. We maintain psychological homeostasis through taking back control of our minds, and we take control through the application of discipline or self-control into the physical, mental, and spiritual aspects of our lives. This is why people find exercise or physical activity gives them such a sense of fulfillment and peace. The runner's high or the pump in the gym that Arnold said was better than sex is just a way that people come back to right now. See what I did there? This is also why getting into a mental flow state during work or learning gives us so much joy, right? We're so deep into that task that we lose our sense of time and our sense of self. And this is also why monks spend hours and hours in prayer and meditation, and why Stoic philosophers stressed the importance of controlling your perceptions and biases to stay mentally stable. The inherent paradox in all of this is that if you want freedom from your mental afflictions, you need more self-control. You know, if I go through a day, right, and I have done a 20-minute meditation, I've done some meaningful mental work, and I've hit a training session, I'm a happy and fulfilled guy. I've woken up, I've done what needs to be done, and I've realized that the time is now. But as we've explored in many videos before, ideas don't change lives. Actions and behaviors based on ideas change lives. And the matter of the fact is, discipline is not just an idea, it's an action, right? It's a way of being, it's a way of life. So you need to develop some good daily habits that require discipline. You need a physical practice like a sport or a martial art or some other kind of exercise. You need a mental practice. You need a way of learning things and expanding your ideas through books or podcasts. And you need a spiritual or philosophical practice, right? That could be meditation, that can be journaling, or it can be as simple as expressing your philosophical ideas in some way like I do through the video you're watching right now. But today I'll leave you, right, with this analogy to think about. The human mind is like a pendulum, always swinging from side to side. On one side there is your past, on the other side there is your future, with the eternal now right in the middle. And over time, right, the more control you gain over your mind through discipline, the slower the pendulum moves and the less extreme it swings. Eventually, as the pendulum slows down, you spend less time dithering about in the past and the future, and you spend more time in the present, in the eternal now. And when the pendulum eventually stops, right, if that is ever truly possible, you've woken up to realize that the time is always now. Thank you so much for watching, guys.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.